Live.
I'm going to send you some
Cool.
links as well. How do I do that?
Oh yeah, please
So
do.
that
Just
you
send it to me on Facebook. Because that way
Facebook.
it's easier for me to copy and paste it. The private
Oh, yeah.
chat on here for some reason has extra stuff it adds, which is really weird for some reason.
Okay, let's see here. So good to be with you. I really enjoy doing
It's
these.
so good to see you.
Okay.
So you
I'm
were
gonna
just
make you
saying
cute.
you were in Mazatlan for the eclipse.
Yeah.
And how was
Yeah.
that?
Well, the whole trip to Mazatlan was guided from one of my hypnosis sessions. Ron and I were in Rio. I was in Brazil, and we were at this point where we're like, I don't know if we should go to Mexico. There's all this hype that was around the eclipse as well. Like, where do we want to be if things are bizarre or weird, or I don't know, if things happen? Um, and we had a hypnosis session, and it was a really incredible. Um, it was just for personal research, and in that scene, the client saw herself as a man traveling through the desert in ancient Persia, making his way to some place that he was being guided to for an eclipse. And at that time, this was still like people weren't like predicting eclipses yet. There wasn't like a really strong astrological knowledge in the people at that point. So this was like a mystery school student that had learned hidden ways of studying the stars. And anyway, so he was traveling through the desert and went through a really intense sandstorm. It was like him and his camel. It was this really epic story. And when he finally gets to this place in the desert, there were several other men that had also been intuitively guided to the same exact spot, and they all were there for this event. And during that event, the sun's getting covered, and spacecraft, multidimensional craft, probably coming in at the same time, and upgrading all the people around the planet that were there for this alignment, that were tuning in to these kinds of things. So the men kind of went into a sleep, into a trance, while these interdimensional beings came in and assisted them with the upgrade that was happening at that time. And after the eclipse, once they kind of started to wake up, the upgrades that they had received continued to unfold and open more and more throughout their life. It wasn't such a huge, profound shift. They knew something had shifted, but things opened up, and they were able to spread this new insight and energy into their communities and into their bloodlines slowly over time. Such as things like vegetarianism, how to prepare food. There was this incredible story. So we were told by the higher self at the end of that, people were being called to different parts of the world. Some people were being called to, the line of totality. Some people were going to be in their homes, not, able to see anything. But we should follow and go. And so there were several synchronicities in this town that we're living in. There's a Mexican restaurant called Mazatlan. I mean, huge sign. When I was like asking for a sign of where to go earlier in the month, when I was thinking about where I wanted to be, huge sign, Mazatlan. Okay. But we were
Nice.
doubting, and we weren't really sure if we wanted to go. But in this session, it was clear that we needed to go. And a series of synchronicities happened as we were making our way to Mazatlan. There was dream intel coming in, telling me what to do, where to go, different meditations I was doing where I was being told different things, and literally following each step of the way. At each point, the next thing would arise, and the next directive or the next experience would happen. Had I not followed really my deepest levels of intuition, I wouldn't have been at the like super magical spot that I was in, which ended up being with a group of just men,
Interesting.
just like in the session itself. And yeah, we ended up being just off the coast of Mazatlan. So really the very first piece of land where the path of totality was touching. So there were so many people in Mazatlan. I think an estimated extra 1 million people were expected to be there for this
Wow.
event. it was a lot. I mean, hotels were 300% increase. A lot of things were going on, like reservations of people getting canceled last minute because the hotels could make more money. And I had received a message to like find an expats in Mazatlan Facebook group and put a post there. And I did that. And that's how we ended up finding the place that we stayed at, which was really sweet. Somebody's home that we stayed at. But yeah, for me, it was really, really powerful. The night before, we were told about this island that was just off the coast, and we made our way there just in time to sit. While Mazatlan had all these extra people there, we were on this very small, beautiful nature preserve island,
Wow.
surrounded by people that were in meditation, where I think in Mazatlan, where the main thing was going on, there's, it was a big party. There were so many people
Yeah.
there. And
I saw the
here,
photos. It was incredible. Just thousands of people on the beach, just yelling their heads off.
yelling. Yeah. For me, this is my second total solar eclipse. And I was at the Oregon Eclipse Festival in 2017. And for me, besides the deeply personal event that happens within, for me, there's a physical shaking that happens. It feels as though I'm being expunged, squeezed from the very, the smallest parts of my inner being and physical body get squeezed. And I think tremendous amount of healing happens very, very quickly within those few moments of that squeeze. But what I love is looking around and seeing all the other people and their experiences. Of course, there's the people that are yelling and screaming, but then to see somebody having a really deeply personal moment with tears coming, or somebody just sitting in silence and reverence. And so for me, there's like 4.5 minutes of like trying to have this amazing, deeply personal, in my own inner world thing, but also like what else is happening and how are people responding to this. And for me, it was the most powerful moment of unity I've experienced in this life, with people of all different types of belief systems and ways of living, held together in this one event with the stars, with the earth, with themselves, with whatever they, believe this to symbolize. Just to feel us all together was really, really powerful for me. And you were asking me how I've been. Well, from that period up until maybe the last 2 days, I feel like I've been coming out of that squeeze. I know many people are experiencing that to some degree, especially last week. There seemed to be really deep inner child stuff happening for many people, old patterns that they hadn't experienced in a long time that came back up in full force.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm happy today to feel much lighter, but since then was a lot of lessons, difficult ones, really quickly.
Interesting.
So,
We're getting you guys there. Are you guys still seeing us right now? Because our feed just cut. We just went from 70 people down to 20 something people. And now everybody's saying that they can't see or hear us very well. The screen is freezing. Can you guys hear us now? Is it still doing it? We just lost 2/3 of our.
Interesting. I
think
even know.
Facebook. This is what happened like last time Facebook was being weird.
Videos frozen. Well, while this is happening, maybe I'm going to try to, because I'm not even connected to my social media things. Maybe I should go ahead and do that.
I can see and hear you perfectly fine. It's really weird.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check social media and see what you guys are seeing, because this is really strange. Like I said, it's not normal for us to lose 1/3 of our people watching.
Totally.
2/3, I should say, within seconds.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's frozen. Our screen is frozen. Here, let's restart.
Should we restart it?
Yeah.
Should I exit?
Redo it. Yeah, I'll send you another link in a second. We'll restart this, guys.
Bless you all. See you in a little bit.